Our third session is a panel discussion on safe seas, supporting women seafarers at sea, moderated by Tejashri Kishore, Deputy Manager, Fleet Care, Fleet Management Ltd. May I request Ms. Tejashri Kishore to come up on stage, please.
Yes, they are waiting there. Can I bring in as well, the panelists?
Yes, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. May I please also request my wonderful panelists who are waiting there intently for the panel discussion to begin. Dr. Neeta, Mhatre, Ms. Priyanka, Ms. Deepti, Dr. Girish, Phadnis, Mr. Chirag. Once again, good afternoon and welcome to this significant panel discussion on supporting our women seafarers at sea. Many of the future women seafarers are present with us here in the audience, and I'm very, very overwhelmed to see the same. And I hope that our panel discussions gives you some good takeaways for your future in the maritime industry. The maritime industry has definitely been a cornerstone of global trade and economic development. However, it is only in recent years that the industry has begun to recognize and address the unique challenges that are faced by the women at sea. Together, we will gather to discuss these challenges, share our experiences, and explore actionable solutions to support and empower our women in this vital sector. So without any further ado, I'd like to open the panel to Ms. Priyanka. She is our third officer working with fleet management and fairly new in the industry. She's worked with a few companies, and I'd like you to continue the introduction. Please.
Good afternoon to all of you, ladies and gentlemen, and my beautiful cadets. I'm Priyanka from Fleet Management. I'm the third officer, and everybody knows that today's era, women have a significant mark in every field. आप कहीं भी देख लो, आपको गर्ल्स मिल ही जाएंगी. कोई भी फील्ड हो, आप ऑटो से जहाज तक का सफ़र तय कर लोगे. So I'm very grateful. I'm the seafarer who the command that 348 length of ship. Then I really thanks to Fleet that he gave me that wings. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very much, Priyanka. And we are definitely very privileged to have our women increasing day by day within the company, and such powerful women with such exciting stories. If I may ask you, what inspired you to join this industry, and how was your, did you get good support at home, or were you self-sufficient? Like, how was it for you joining this industry?
Okay, ma'am. अभी यहाँ पर बैठे हुए हर एक कैडेट्स का, हर एक गर्ल का एक तो रहता है कि यार कुछ करना है. तो वैसे ही मेरा था. मैं लखनऊ से एक छोटे से विलेज से हूँ, संडीला नाम है उसका. आई नो किसी ने सुना भी नहीं होगा. एंड आई थिंक आई वॉज इन 11th एंड मेरे एक कैप्टन ने मुझे एक्चुअली वो मेरे कॉलेज आए थे एंड ही गिव मी दैट $1 आई वाज लाइक इसमें गांधी जी क्यों नहीं बने हैं. देन आई डिसाइड कि ये मुझे चाहिए. एंड रियली मुझे ये पता चला कि मर्चेंट नेवी ऐसा है जहाँ से आप अपना ये सफ़र तय कर सकते हो. एंड मैंने उसके पीछे अपना सब कुछ दे दिया. एंड रियली मेरी फैमिली इतनी सपोर्टिव थी कि मुझे लगा ही नहीं कि मैं नहीं कर सकती हूँ. एंड यू नो द सोसाइटी फिर आ जाती है सोसाइटी एंड इट स्टार्ट टू योर कट योर विंग्स but never stop. I never stop. I actually I'll start to the endorse Maritime, And I spent it 12 months in one contract. I'm very grateful because there's many people that small mindset also that tere se nahi hoga, and I'm doing them whole day chipping. You know, I think not everyone knows that chipping work. I'll do that chipping in whole day. And Sunday, my chief officer gave me only the chipping. You do the chipping only. I was happy because मुझे मज़ा आ रहा था, काम में मुझे अच्छा लग रहा था यार ये. इसके बाद तो मेरी लाइफ सेट वाली फीलिंग. एंड आई स्टार्ट एंड देन फिर से वही कंपनी का फंडा नहीं ले रहे हैं. एंड देन फ्लीट गिव मी अ really very beautiful wings, and I'll start with the fleet. I remember that मैं कंपनी गई एंड मैंने वहाँ पर स्टार्ट किया कि मुझे करना है. एंड आई मीट द मंजी सर एंड द शेल्डन सर ऑल्सो. एंड यम्मी ठीक है तुझे करना है हम देंगे लेकिन तुझे अच्छे से करना है. आई वॉज लाइक आप दो तो मैं कर लूँगी. एंड देन आई स्टार्ट एंड almost 10 months I was this type of girls, and I always that doing that ज़्यादा वाला contract. मेरे को ज़्यादा वाला contract चाहिए. And then I spent that 10 months in fleet, and I have no single issues, and I surrounded with the very, very good people, and I never realized I'm a girl because no one realized me that I feel I'm the same one. That this is my experience.
Thank you so much, Priyanka. And the industry itself, it is very rewarding, like you rightly said. It is not just a sea of challenges, but a sea of opportunities. It makes you financially independent. You are spending some time on the ship, but then you have so much time to spend for your family. Which other job opportunity gives us that? And I think you'll do wonderful in this industry. I hope to see you as captain someday. Thank you. Mr. Chirag, what would you like to contribute to our discussion? Especially since you're from ISWAN and you guys are doing such excellent work for the welfare of our seafarers, how would you portray your company, your organization to take care of our women who are in the shipping industry?
Thanks very much. First of all, thank you for having me here. And kudos to our women seafarers, especially Priyanka for sharing her story. Really passionate and inspiring. And to all women cadets who are sitting here, I think it's a wonderful journey ahead of you. So as you have heard from Priyanka, I think just believe in yourself and look at your passion for the industry. Well, in ISWAN is seafarer. We are a seafarers welfare charity based in UK, and we operate at 24/7, 365 days a year, confidential, free of cost helpline for seafarers worldwide, including for women seafarers. And sadly, if I'm going to look at the data, what the data is telling us in the helpline, in the last year, 2023 quarter, we reported a significant increase in the reports coming to the helpline that the women seafarers, especially the women seafarers, are facing a lot more challenges around mental health and well-being at sea. And when we try to look at the data on try and understand that what the causes are there on mental health and well-being, the significant issue was around the abuse, harassment, bullying, violence at sea. This is absolutely very sad and disappointing to hear that these issues are still happening at sea. Many of us still, look at that maybe we need to provide a safer environment on board, but look at that what a woman would go through when she has to go through such tremendous challenge at sea of being bullied or harassed. Some of the cases in 2022 also mentioned about, that there have been cases of, violence at sea against the women. There were cases around rape, and many of the senior seafarers, the senior rank seafarers were involved in some of these cases. So there is a lot of work that needs to be done to educate and make awareness among the seafarers on board. Especially, we have to bring together male and women seafarers together into all of these things and not to single out anyone. We also highlighted, the reports that mentioned to us that majority of these things were the excessive criticism of sometimes the women seafarers. I'll tell you an example. we came across a case where the women seafarer mentioned to us that she went on board for the first time in her life. Now on that, and she's an engineer. I won't name the nationality just to make sure. I'm not trying to go away with that. But then what she told us that when she went on board, some of the seafarers started telling that, oh, there's a bad luck has come on board, first thing. Now, she was disregarded. She was not been given enough chance to perform herself. Then the chief engineer on board said, you are not going to touch any tools in my engine room. She has to really prove herself for the next few weeks that she is equally capable of as the other men seafarers are there. Having seen that her passion, her hard work, that she tried and committed, she took that as a positive thing. She didn't let her down with the adverse, the environment that was tried to be created around her, that she leaves the shipping and she goes back at home. But she took it as a challenge. And that was been told to us in the helpline about it. Then how she managed, because we were in continuously touch with her, providing her the emotional support throughout this tenure. And then she took that as a positive way, and she said, I have to prove myself. And there was a day when the same chief engineer allowed her to do all whatever the work was happening in the engine room, and she was part of the entire team. And since then, that's the same chief engineer mentored her for her good performance, and she is doing very well in her career. So what I want to say that take things positively. Don't get disheartened by people want to see that how can you can really impact the entire work. So I think that's the helpline that we try to operate, and it's all confidential. So you can reach to us at any time if you need to.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Mr. Chirag. And might I add, there are a lot of companies as well who are taking the step forward and making sure that their women seafarers at sea are very well looked after in all aspects, especially with concern to their safety, their security, their mental well-being as well. So thank you very much for your points. May I request, please, Dr. Neeta to share her inputs.
Thank you so much, and good afternoon, one and all. Thank you so much, Saleha ma'am, for this opportunity. And seeing the room completely houseful, even post-lunch, is really a big kudos. So talking about my own journey and coming in this stream of behavioral and mental health awareness, I think it's almost been 2 decades where I've been working in this journey. And this journey has been amazing, and my own I think I should say that ABC of wellness has really been great. And this ABC of wellness, wherever it has reached, to whichever companies it has reached, has been meticulous. And only 3 fundas which I have actually felt was important, that everything is all about collaborating and everything is all about connecting. It is not about ego. It is not about just being one. It is important to collaborate. It is important to co-create, because we are into co-creations. It is not about men or it is not about women, but one very important thing is about acceptance. Just accept the people the way they are. It's not about gender. It's not about nationality. It's not about religion. It's not about caste. It's not about creed. So acceptance is the key. Secondly, we need to be mindful of our behaviors. Whether it is men or females, anyone, we need to be mindful of our behaviors. We need to be aware of the words which we use. We should always understand that if I use this word for my own self, am I really making a change? No. So why should I use something which is derogatory for someone else? So we need to be very mindful of our behaviors and see, as I said, that it's all about co-creating. And while co-creating, it is about communication. Communicate in such a way that the other one would really love to listen. Whenever it comes to feedback, it's not always going to be constructive, but just see where are you giving the feedback? How are you giving the feedback? And why this feedback is also important. So taking in charge that at least if you want to bring in constructive feedback, or if you want to really bring in a change, bring in a positive change, not a change which will impact the person at the physical level, at the mental level, as well as at the social level, and then it will impact the company with the financial level. So all the 4 pillars are very, very essential. It's not only one mental health, It's all related simultaneously. So it's all about what thoughts comes, what am I doing, and how am I doing. So everything matters.
Thank you very much, Dr. Neeta. So on behalf of our young audience out here who are the future of the industry, I would just ask you a small question. That is, when a girl decides to take up this particular profession, it is definitely coming with a kind of mindset that there will be challenges. So they are prepared for it. Then they go on board. Then you started with your family, probably the acceptance on the ship is not as much. So how can a girl cadet or a TME or a rating who's joining seafaring for the first time handle these emotions?
So thank you for this question. And Tejashri, I think I had one case which I really had to deal with this. And there we brought in a beautiful acronym. Of course, mine is nothing which is code-based, and I don't believe in code-based myself because I know I am a change driver. I'm not a change maker, I'm a change driver. And being a change driver, everything starts with I. It's not with everyone. So there I brought in a very small acronym that was C. And when this case came to me, it was a case where after 4 months, the contract was extended and she had to continue the contract for almost 8.5 months. There was no reliever and there was nothing. And that is the time when I brought in that why don't you go and ask for support? Is there someone who is not ready to give you support? Are there no masters? Are there no chief engineers or chief officers who are not ready? Did you even go out and ask for help? And she said, no, how can I? So I think here is where that how can I, it's okay to ask for help. If I don't know anything, it is okay to ask for help. And here is where the support system lies. That support is very, very important. Be supportive and also receive support. It's nothing to feel bad. As we say, it's okay to not to be okay, right? In the same way, it's okay to ask for support. While talking about E is about empathize. Empathize that someone who had come with that mindset that I'm just going to be here for 4 months. And now it's double. So when this comes as double, empathize with the person, empathize, talk, communicate. And when you communicate, it's not always the work which you need to talk. It can be without work, without agenda. As in our psychology, we use a lot of circle time. The circle time can be something which can be practiced very easily, where we meet people without agenda and we just talk and relate to each other with common factors like what do you like, what are some things, what you would like to share with your juniors. So having some circle time, having some me time, having some engaging time, and A is adaptability, as of course I understand that when you see a female seafarer, it's all about adaptability and it's also all about acknowledgement. Acknowledge that a girl has come to pursue her dreams, so be supportive, and this C really works brilliantly.
Wonderfully said. Thank you so much, Dr. Neeta. Very well put. Captain Phadnis, please share your insights.
Thanks a lot. Taking a cue from what you just said. Being supportive, what can we do for women in maritime? You see, this is a never-ending topic of discussion. How much is enough? Or are we doing enough? That's the main thing. I have a different view on this. More than trying to educate or give talks to the girls who are joining, I went the other way around as long as I was there. Educate the guys around. I tried to tell them that there is called me space. For every person, there is a me space. What is me space? A space around you. You cannot encroach that space. And a live example, you have people saying, she's like my sister, she's like my daughter. There's no sister and daughter. They're all seafarers on board. So that me space has to be kept in mind and not cross that line. And sadly so, I had to take a call, and a very good officer, well reported, but there were evidence as per the POSH. We had received proper complaints, and he had to be suspended, or we had to just make him NTBR from our company. So it's very important that what we are doing for the women seafarers, how do we handle it? It has to become inbuilt. Like, for example, in most of our corporate companies, on all our companies, we have 30%, maybe 40% women working. And it does not matter what position they are in or what work they're doing. They're all colleagues in the office. That mentality has to set in with our seafarers. They have to understand that they are our colleagues, they are there to work, they're there to do a job, and that is the support which has to come essentially from right on top. That is your master and chief engineer. If they have the right attitude, the whole system works well. Like we always said, a company depends on the guy sitting on top. A ship is how the captain is. So if you have a clear set rules for yourself, and if you can inculcate this simple logic that they're all colleagues, they're all seafarers, I think we're heading in the right direction. It'll take time. It's an evolution that is taking place now. We are getting policies in place. This morning, we saw the Deputy DG on his this thing. There are certain policies. But those policies to be implemented, to be working well, the system has to take over. And it will then become a normal life for everybody on board. Till then, the support that we need to give the women seafarers joining, we have to encourage them. We have to guide them towards the right direction. That yes, this is an opportunity for the women to actually take shipping as a career. And it's slowly getting embedded into our Indian mentality, I would say. I would not comment on the foreign national because we see a lot of women seafarers already working on foreign countries. But it is a new lifestyle which is happening for our country, for the Indians and for our mentality. We have to change. It is more important for the men folk, the seafarers, to start adapting and understanding and accepting. These are very, very important things. And of course, we have policies which have been set into place. Companies, I'm sure big companies, we got some guys from all the larger companies, you're from Fleet. They have policies in place, but it is for the others to start implementing them or to start understanding the implications behind them. So basically, we are heading the right track. We are having a lot of these seminars which will help. There's another force at the back which we are not really addressed, which is a very powerful thing as far as women seafarers are concerned, are the wives of seafarers. None of our seminars, we've seen them round, and years back, just a small, when I was in Fleet, I'm talking about 20 years back, we had a women's seminar, and we called the wives of seafarers. So as usual, everything has to come out of Hong Kong then also, and they said nobody will come. In a place like Calcutta, we had 156 wives who attended the seminar, and we had Mrs. Tiwari from Delhi, well-known personality. I had invited her personally. She had come down. She had asked for, we had given her a 1-hour slot, and the interaction then, 20 years back, it went on for 3.5 hours. We never stopped it because it was such a fantastic seminar. So what basically I'm trying to say is acceptance. Acceptance is what we need to know. We have to understand from the other point of view. And if that happens, I think we're all in on a good space. Thanks.
Very well put, sir. And we have definitely heard a lot of exciting insights from all the panelists. And yet I would want to hear, Deepti, your inputs. You've been in the industry for a long time. You work with multiple companies. How has your support network been so far?
Okay. Thank you for having me here. Let me introduce myself first. I'm Deepti Singh, Chief Officer with Master's License. sailing with the fleet management company. I started my career in 2008 with Great Eastern Shipping Company. And I'm glad that there are a lot of cadets are there from the Great Eastern Shipping Company over here. So back then, there were only few women was there in my batch. But now I can see there are a lot of women are there who is choosing this field. So as your question goes, I'm sorry for the thing. So I'm coming from the naval background, where my father is also serving a navy. So, he always imbibed me with the, with the taking challenges on board and take up challenges on board. And could you please repeat your question? I'm sorry.
Deepti, that's okay. You can please simply start with your introduction and how has your journey been in your own time.
Okay, so since I've been sailing with a lot of companies, so the changes which I have seen in the shipping industry is that the women, there are a lot of, when I joined the shipping company, there was few women are there, and hardly I seen any women working in the ports or even on the ships. So nowadays, when I go on the ship and different countries when I go, so I saw that a lot of women are coming in the shipping industries. They are working in the stevedores. They are working also. They are also, driving the big containers, trolley containers. So whenever I see those women, I get so empowered myself that whatever decision I have been taken in my life, that is great. So these all things has been done because there are few policies and regulations which the companies and a lot of companies and this regulatory bodies and the organization has made for the women. So these policies which has come up in our SMS nowadays, which leading to allow a lot of women to pursue the career in shipping industry. So as you said, like I've been in a fleet management company. So I've started my career with Great Eastern Company. After that, I joined K-Line because I joined K-Line where I took the promotion as a chief mate. And then I joined MSC. I also get an opportunity to sail with the cruise vessel, one of the cruise vessels, where I was the first lady Indian officer over there in their cruise fleet. And after that, since this pandemic came down, so this cruise industry has been shut down. So I changed my company I came back to the cargo ships. I joined SCI. And from SCI, since there was an issue with the salary, there was very less salary over there, and the same amount of work I'm putting to the foreign company. So why should I not choose to change the company? So I changed from SCI to the BSM and then BSM to the fleet management. So after sailing with so many different companies, the best part I have ever seen in my career and the best treatment I have ever received is the fleet management company. I'm not favoring here because I'm the fleet management, but the respect they have given, the support system they have provided to me in this company was great. So, and we have the fleet care department, especially made for the seafarer for their well-beings. So we have the women support system also available in the fleet care department. We have a small group, a supporting small group in the company where we can have a close communication. We can discuss whatever issues we are facing on board ship. We can discuss that to the support system, and they can carry forward our issues to the management, the top management level. And there are a lot of policy, I would say, which fleet care has been incorporated in the SMS, like 2 women on 1 ship. So from last 2 contracts, I have been sailing with with 1 more lady officer on board. So where I was the senior officer and 1 junior level officers. So being a senior over there, so providing the mentorship and guiding them and how to pursue their dreams and focus on for their achievement on these aspect, I have been, guided them. Also, I would like to add, we have a lot of policies in fleet management, like medical healthcare policies, and we do have this disciplinary actions in SMS. Generally, all companies must have to incorporate this discipline action and complaining procedures. How do we have to, approach if there is something wrong and we have to complain the other things. Then also the company has taken the wellness initiatives towards the well-being of the seafarer. So wellness means like they're supposed to provide some educational training on board, and we can also carry out like practical exercises and some recreational activities we can carry out, which company is supporting us. And mental health training program also the company has been incorporated in their SMS. So mental health training means like if there is a situation, a distress situation, because there are a lot of work is going on in shipping industry. So there are sometimes we couldn't sleep. They are demanding, challenging. There are a lot of challenges are there in the shipping industry. So to manage those things, there is a mental health support system being given to the seafarer, where they can discuss their problems to them, and they can manage their stress. And we can also proactively, identify what is the sign of the distress the person is going through. So those all things we can take care of, as well as the harassment. The women harassment prevention policies is also there. And nowadays, the differences I have been observed in shipping industry that before there was hardly any women used to come in the shipping, but now a lot of women are coming, not even on the ship, but also in the port and other areas also. So that's it, I would say. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deepti, and I'm confident that I will see you leading a ship very soon to excellence. And I would like for you to give a small message to our seafarers out there in the audience who are going to be the future. What could they look up to when they join the industry? How should they conduct themselves when they are on board?
So one message I would like to share the cadets over here, like be bold, be fearless, and nothing can stop you if you decided, to reach that goal. So be perseverance and be resilience, increase your resilience power. Prepare yourself to take the challenges by improving your physical and mental health. That's it.
Thank you so much. May I please invite the lovely audience to share your questions to our lovely panelists?
Hello. Hi everyone. I'm Samia. I'm from the International Transport Workers Federation headquarters in London. It's great to be here today and meeting so many lovely people in the industry. There's been something that I've been waiting to hear all day, and I think Captain Phadnis really resonated this message that we can encourage women to be resilient, strong as steel, and take any form of criticism as a positive and show everyone that they can do everything, which is great. And I feel like most women in this industry, and to be honest, across the world, are like this, that we need to have very strong minds, challenge ourselves, challenge others, what they think of us. However, I think equally, if not more, education really comes into place here as well. The way men are across different fields across the world, we don't question their ability. So why are we criticized so much? So I wanted to ask, because I'm not a seafarer, I work in agreements with the ITF, so perhaps my knowledge of this is quite limited, but is there unconscious bias training that happens at maritime academies, or even regular mandatory training on board, just to touch base on how to treat someone, whether they're men, women, and so that way the education starts and you can pass down from top to bottom to make sure that women don't have to face biases that many people may have grew up with, and that will, I think, slowly start shifting the mindset of how women are in this industry and we can all be treated equally. Thank you.
Who will take up the question? Mr. Chirag, thank you.
Thank you very much. So I'll just talk about from ISWAN's perspective. We have also now we are going to be running a campaign around this particular thing, wherein we are trying to, because I started off saying that there is a lot of mental health issues, especially around the women seafarers, about the harassment, bullying, and all that. Recognizing all that, we're going to be launching a campaign around seafarer safety, or especially for the educating or making awareness among the men seafarers on board, how to be a male ally. Recognizing that we can't leave the women seafarers isolated on board. Recognizing that men seafarers also can't be bashed, and taking both of them along. Both the men and women seafarers, we need to take them all along, because both of them play a very, very crucial and important role. And also not to ensuring that even the women seafarers are not been put as a tag for they're the victims, and we don't want to do that as well. So we want to bring both men and women seafarers as allies on board, and we want to educate more and more seafarers about this campaign so that people can come together. Men seafarers especially take up the challenge of how their words, their actions, what even our psychologist just mentioned about it, how our words and actions can actually play an important role into ensuring the atmosphere on board, ensuring that we have a safer environment on board. And maritime colleges play a very, very important role into all of these things. So hopefully this campaign is going to be launched in end of June or July, first week. And we're going to be coming back to the industry, because industry will also play a very key role into all of these things. And as well as reaching out to the maritime colleges to also take it up and look at how we can, bring a sense of belongingness into everyone, into all of these things. It's not I, as was said, it's all we. We all have to come together into this and operate the ship in the best, safer environment. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So I would just add one more line here, because it's already been said, but it's not only the ship. Everything starts from the family. Everything starts from the family it starts from the company itself. And when the company is taking in charge, it's not only about gender sensitivity, but it's about changing the mindset. And unless you do not change the mindset, however we might talk about gender sensitivity, it's still a question mark. It doesn't solve the problem. So it's important that all the trainings, and especially related to the behavioral trainings, has to be initiated from the office and taking it ahead and putting it maybe mental health, but it is important to change the behaviors to see the consequences there. Thank you so much.
Wonderfully said. Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Good evening, one and all again. I am Dr. Meena Ravishankar from Great Eastern Institute of Maritime Studies, Lonavala. Now, this is basically to Deepti Singh. I was very happy that you are speaking a lot about fleet management department in all the various areas, that needs to be considered, especially useful for seafarers. I just want to ask you one question. What exactly the company does for fatigue management? And how is it being resolved? Because that adds to a lot of problems, Currently, most of the mishaps, etc. is one important cause is fatigue management. Fatigue is one of the cause. So how exactly is the company managing that? So I would like to know that.
Thank you, ma'am, for your question. The fleet management, what they did, they have their specialized department, fleet care department for the seafarer. So they give a support system to their seafarer. They usually call their seafarer once in a month and ask how everything is going on board. So how's their mental health? Is any situations they are, any challenges they are facing? Is any support they can provide from their side? So this is the very important thing which all company must incorporate in their procedures. And also they allowed the women seafarer to speak to the top management through this channel. So that is also give the safe environment to the women. And also, I have also received so much respect and, the recognition in the company, which I would say really appreciated, which always, money is not an important thing. Money is not an important thing. So money, any company can give you the money. Sometimes it is very important for a woman or anybody, to get the respect and recognition, which we all as a human being crave for. So that's why I believe Fleet Management is one of the good company I've ever seen. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Deepti. You've been so kind, and I'm very appreciative of the fact that you're very happy working with Fleet. I personally have been with Fleet since last 5 years, and I have not introduced myself very properly previously, but I am part of the welfare team, that's Fleet Care. We take care of the welfare of our seafarers, the family members, and especially our women seafarers who are joining the company and who are going out there for the first time. So thank you very much, Deepti. Any more questions? Yes, sir.
Hello, I am Anand here from MAT University, Chennai. I am asking a very specific question, Chirag, actually to you, but anybody else who can give the answer. We deal with parents when the girls come to take admission. Sometimes, parents come along. And one of the school seminars also this question came up. They say that just like you have in the shore staff, Visakha guidelines for dealing with harassment. You mentioned POSH, somebody mentioned POSH. But what is the law on the ship? Particularly, and the very specific thing was asked, that if my daughter goes and she's harassed by a foreigner on a foreign flag vessel, then, and it doesn't stop here. He doesn't want the guy just to lose the job. He wants the guy in jail. So can you guide us what the law applies, or anybody else can? Thank you.
To my limited, I think there are more stalwarts in the room from the shipping industry who can, I think, answer this particular question, or maybe experts in the legal. I saw, but to my limited understanding, I think it's the flag of the ship which will play the role, and that needs to be reported over there. And if the ship is near the port, suppose the ship is arriving in the port in the next ways, or if it's there in the port, so I think you can also report to the local port state control immediately to get that person arrested. And you can also, in the meantime, the concerned seafarer will also be needed guidance and emotional support, because we had several cases where the women seafarers are actually not motivated or they've been pressed enough by their fellow colleagues. Even if they are knowingly that somebody has done mistakes and all that, they do not encourage women to come out open and report it. So that also needs to be handled separately. But I think the law, if you're talking about the law, I think it will be the flag of the state, if I'm not wrong, at the open sea. Yeah. So that would be there. Yeah.
If I can add something, you see, as for what you're saying, this is what I was saying. When we have to have regulations in place, we have to have education also in place. A question that you have asked, I don't know if there's some, we got Captain Rahul, I think is here, no? Maybe he can educate something on this act, but as far as I know of POSH Act, complaint has to be put within 3 months of the incident happening. There has to be some witnesses to that. There has to be... And it has to be a written complaint which has to be... a written complaint, nothing verbally. It has to be a written complaint, and action then can be taken, and would it then be acceptable by the authorities, whether Indian or overseas, if you followed these acts properly. So I'm not very clear on the POSH Act word pattern, but...
I would like to...
Yes.
Yes.
So
Jurisdiction matters.
Jurisdiction, flag, code, everything. Yes.
FIR has to be lodged. Unless you don't have the basics in place, I don't think...
And the legal documentation is important for any POSH or any POXO complaints which is happening on board, or whether it is happening in any of the offices. So everything has to be legal, everything has to be documented, and we also need to have an evidence to it. At least one person as an evidence. In case if we do not still have an evidence, but if the person is major, is a mature 18 plus, that itself is a big evidence that it has been reported, documented, and anything which is legally documented as per jurisdiction, as per flag, as per port, everything has to be clear. And then only this can be taken ahead. And that is definitely, it has also been informed to the company, because the company has to know that the company has their internal IC. The internal IC is always there for POSH.
So I also want to add to this that the jurisdiction matters. So if the case has happened in international waters, then that is a problem, because then the FIR cannot be launched in India. And that is a major hurdle for cases that are happening with Indian seafarers, because when they want to launch a complaint, they get stuck with the fact that FIR can't be launched. And even if they have all the evidence with them and the company accepts there's a problem and the report says that the victim has been actually harassed, all these things have happened, but we can't proceed legally because of this. So the only course of action then remains that the company suspends the particular officer, which is not acceptable to us, because that is not solving the problem at all. So like I said, this is a gray area, and there's a lot that still needs to be done. And I think through DG Shipping and the cell that has been created, which Madam Joshi is heading, I'm sure we're going to come up with some kind of resolutions with this, at least for the Indian seafarers.
Might I add something to this? We are doing excellently, when it comes to the corrective measures, DG, MUI, and the organizations as well. But what are we doing at the preventive side? Are we giving an opportunity for the ladies who are there at sea to share their day-to-day, probably challenges that they have? So when they know that there is somebody back home or probably in the office who's been assigned to them to look after them throughout their tenure, they feel empowered and they feel that they are being watched and taken care of. And I think that is very essential for the companies, because the women at sea are not such a great majority at the moment, and we have to really cherish what we have, so we will grow from there. So thank you. Any more questions? I believe Captain Shaukat has raised some questions within the audience. Pooja, yes.
Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Pooja, third assistant engineer from MMSI. My question would be to Ma'am Dr. Neeta Ma'am. Ma'am, due to this acceleration of awareness of women seafarers and empowerment and everything, sometimes the point is being raised that what are we doing? Like, this women empowerment is only for like filling up the quotas by putting women in every field or everything, or it just like, how can we change the mindset of a people that it's not just filling up the quotas, but it's unlocking the potential, the unused potential of the society. So can you share something about it?
So thank you for this question. First of all, being a lady and you being a lady, do we really need the word empowerment?
I believe not, but
right?
Yeah.
And what happens is, since morning, when there was a lot of discussions happening, we do not have to prove anyone.
Right.
We do not have to prove, and we do not have to get validations. Wherever and however we travel, we always travel through our merits. And always it is just the merit, it is not the quota, it is not the reservation. We only come up when we are ready. We are never pushed. We can only sail when I am ready to sail, I am ready to work. I can also give birth to a child when I am ready, right? I cannot be pushed for it. So only take a step when you are ready, not when everyone is ready, because you matter a lot, your body matters a lot, your physical health matters a lot, and your mental health matters a lot.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yes.
Hi, good afternoon, everybody. I have a small question which was discussed just a minute before regarding the IC committee, the POSH committee on shore. I'm a part of the POSH committee and the president of the POSH committee. I would like to know if there is a harassment on board. What is the jurisdiction of the IC committee on shore? Are we able to take some legal implications, legal actions, or we don't have any jurisdiction for the onboard cases?
Not yet. I don't think so there is anything in place.
So the IC committee is not going to be a part?
Okay. He's a lawyer. 1 minute. You don't have.
So there are also so many complaints comes to the helpline that we operate. One of that things that women seafarers complaints about that they don't have overalls. They don't fit in the overalls that have been provided to them. So I think some of the company, and I would like to take Deepti's and Priyanka's view on that, what are, how the things are changing on that. And I think the second question, I think the second issue what women seafarers have always raised is that how many, the hygiene materials do we need to take along with us when we join ships? We don't get anything on board ship. We don't get anything in the port facilities and all that. Where are we on that as well? And how do you manage, to go on board, or was it supplied on board, or any of from the audience also? Because I think there was also a study been done by the Seafarers Charity and the SIRC, where they mention about that the port needs, or the seafarers' welfare needs in the ports as well, wherein they are advised the port, the welfare centers to keep extra hygiene materials, as well as also have the women, overalls being ready, the shoes, the overalls like your boiler suits and so many other PPEs to be available at the center, so that women seafarers can, you can't pack two suitcases of hygiene materials when you join ships. So any of you or anyone else?
What I can say, any company, I can speak on behalf of quite a few companies here, any company who is employing ladies on board, they're fully aware of what they're heading into. And I don't think there is any issue regarding medical requirement or having adequate things in the medical chest. Yes, there is an issue about the disposal, and there is an issue about the boiler suits. Few of the big companies have already implemented it. The smaller ones are changing. And it's an evolving situation. It will happen. And it's happening at a very fast pace, I would say. So this issue of whether any seafarer, a lady seafarer joining on board, I mean, we've got two of them right here on the panel. I don't think there should be an issue, because it's been taken care of by the companies. I'm sure all the companies take care of it.
May I ask Priyanka to add on this with your experience?
Okay, ma'am, my experience was, sir asked me what you guys are manage the things. Actually, our fleet company, that's sorry to say, that our fleet company, they give us all the facility on board. So we have no issues at all. We have no issues. So we have all the facilities. So, that's it. Ma'am.
Which is coming as all the offices, it's only about how do you dispose it. It's very important, the disposal has to be taught, and as per SDGs, like in the morning, Mr. Shetty was here around, and when we are talking about SDGs, SDGs 14 is also talking about how do you dispose these medical stuff. So here is where the menstrual cups is also coming into the records, and only one thing which is there is education, engaging and creating awareness. That's only one thing which we can do as all together, because it's not about talking about illness, it's talking about wellness.
Thank you so much for your inputs. Deepti, would you like to add?
Regarding boiler suits? When we joined Merchant Navy in our institute, we have been told how to be taken care of these kind of issues. So, of course, I think a lot of institute must, when they are hiring a woman, so, of course, these all issues they must be discussing with their women. So, how to taken care of all such things. And now there is regarding menstrual cup. It is a very safe and nice things which I think all working women should incorporate in their life. That's it.
Thank you very much, my lovely team of panelists. And may I please? Yes, sir? One more question. Yes, please.
So we've been discussing safety here. My question is about a different safety. It's about safety of the mind. And I would really like to thank Saleha and her core team for having taken care of the women's wing of the seafarers, families mostly here during the pandemic. They have been a brilliant support to all of us when the men were held up right there and we were all worried about their safety during the pandemic. Now, when we talk of wellness, I would like to know if we, on a regular basis, can take up wellness programs for families of seafarers, the women especially, who worry a lot while they are here taking care of children and elders at home, especially because recently I met the chief officer and a junior officer, third officer of the Andromeda Star, which was attacked 4 times by Iran-backed militants. And the chief mate, when he walked out on the deck, saw a piece of metal and tried to pick it up. He couldn't pick it up with one hand. When he picked it up with both his hands, he realized it was shrapnel, and it did shake him to the core when he saw the shrapnel. Everybody on board obviously was shaken. So if the men folk were so shaken, we can imagine the state of the women folk and the families at home. That's when the wellness part really steps in, and I think we need to seriously think about support for the women folk here, which Saleha has always provided, of course. But I've been hearing so many nice things about Fleet right now, and I hope all companies step in like them and do something about this part of wellness. Thank you.
I think, as you rightly said, support has to come from all directions for that matter. And thank you, Madam Saleha, for doing such great things for the women in the Maritime as well as the family members. I'm personally a family member of a seafarer. My husband is currently sailing, and I have a 3-year-old at home. And it is a support network that is around me, which empowers me to do better and better. Thank you very much, Tushar sir, for this opportunity and for your faith in me. Thank you, Captain Randhir sir, for mentoring me into this industry. Whatever I know of shipping is because of Randhir sir. So thank you very much, sir. And thanks again, my lovely panelists, and for your time, for your hard work, and everything that you do for the industry, and keep prospering. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Heartfelt thanks to all our panelists for such inspiring ideas and ways to support women seafarers. And as rightly pointed out, even the families of seafarers are equally important. While we are focusing on women seafarers, our focus at MUI Women's Wing is also on the families of seafarers out here. May I request Sania Jahan to please come up on stage to felicitate our panelists. Captain Pradhan. Ms. Tejashri Kishore. Our MUI President, Captain Rao, to felicitate our moderator, Tejashri Kishore.
Thank you so much, sir.
Ms. Priyanka Tiwari. Ms. Priyanka Tiwari. Ms. Deepti Singh. Ms. Deepti Singh. Mr. Chirag Bahri. Captain Girish Phadnis, Captain Girish Phadnis, Dr. Neeta Mhatre, Dr. Neeta Mhatre,